In today's session, so let us go through the two programs which has been prescribed in software testing and automation lab. Coming to program number 7, that is using Selenium IDE, create a test suite containing minimum 4 test cases. So this has to be done for two websites. So let us look into that, how we can perform this experiment number 7. So for this, we can go for Mozilla Firefox browser. So what is the reason for choosing Mozilla Firefox browser? Because Selenium IDE is the default add-on which is being created for the Mozilla Firefox. In the recent version of Selenium, so it is being supported for the Chrome as well. Okay, so now I have come to the Mozilla Firefox browser. So as you can see on the top right corner, there is no icon of Selenium IDE because this add-on is not been added. So how we can add on? So you can just click on these 3 lines and come to the add-ons and themes and search for Selenium IDE. So you will end up with this window. Here I can click on Add to Firefox. Wait for a few seconds. You will get this pop-up window and you can click on Add. Then click on Allow this extension to run in private windows and say OK. So now we can see that Selenium IDE icon has been come up. So now we can start working with Selenium IDE. So when I opened the Selenium IDE, I got this window and also there are 4 options. The option number 1 says create a new test in a new project. Basically, you are directly starting a test, instead of creating a project. So then we save it as a project. Okay. So first and third option, either of this you can choose to start your project. So here this is starting with the project. Here you create a test case, then you bring it to one test, one project name under one project. That's all. There is no bigger difference between option 1 or 3. You can choose any one of them. Second is existing project. Suppose you have saved some existing project, you can open that and test again for retesting or to do that we can use the second option. Third one, when I click it will going to close the Selenium IDE. So we can start with the third option. When I click on create new project, it will give me this window. So I have to enter here some project name. Some random name. Okay. So when I created this project, so as you can see, the project name has come up here. And also, so what is this drop down list? Suppose if I see this drop down, I get 3 options here. So option number 1, that is to create a new test cases. Option number 2 is to create a test suite. So a test suite contains as many test cases as possible. And option number 3, that is executing. So to see the current executing test case, we can click on this executing part. Okay, so this is all about that. So by default, there is one untitled test case which is being created when we create a project. So when I click on 3 dots, so how did I come up here? So you can see there is a 3 dots which is there vertically. Click on the 3 dots, you will get these 4 options. Rename, either you can rename the test case, you can duplicate it, you can delete it, and also export. So what is export option? We'll come to know about it after a few minutes. So right now, let me rename it. So by default, the name I've given as untitled for the test case. So now let me name so I've just renamed it. So what next? What we have to do? So my test case is ready, but nothing I do see here, right? So I have to create this test cases. I have to bring up the instances for the test cases. So how can I create the instances? So for that, we have to go to the recording part. So there is a recording here. Click on start recording. So when you click on start recording, you will get this window. This window, what we have to do, we have to enter the valid URL. So any website name URL has to be specified along with the protocol. So I have given Swayam website address and let me start recording now. So when I click on start recording, the Selenium IDE will redirect it to the particular website which you have given. You can use the website, particular website, at least, maybe you're testing for the login section, maybe you're testing for the listing session. So whichever, there are multiple elements in the website, right? So whichever element you are interested to test, so then that particular element you can choose and you can start testing. The main purpose of this Selenium IDE is to understand why they do this recording and playback. The reason of doing this recording and playback is to understand the user interaction with the website. So because when they understand the user interaction, they can actually make their websites in a better, experience for the users. So that is the reason, and also they can come up with the different defaults and also the errors which can encounter when the different types of users use the website. So that is the why we go with this Selenium IDE record and playback option. So now I have clicked this. You can use the website for, as I told you, at least for some time, so that all the instances keep recording, and also you have to observe. So there is Selenium IDE is recording. Can you observe that? So this is what Selenium IDE will be recording all your user interaction. Means whenever I do some mouse click, whenever I type something, so each and every time this will be recorded by the Selenium IDE. Okay, so now what we have to do, the recording is happening, right? So now whenever you want to stop, you have to just click on this IDE icon, which is on the top of any browser. Whenever you open, just click there. Just taking some time. Yes. So it came back to the Selenium IDE. So now let us understand what are these. So these are actually what are the actions we have done when we open that website. So you can see there is a open command. So set window size, actually I maximize, click. So all the clicks, and suppose if I had typed something, so that is also going to come. So what action I have performed, and the value also will be entered. Suppose you are entering the username and password. So for testing purpose, we should actually not use the actual username and password. So you can use any random other value. So that also will be coming up here. Suppose you're entering some username or you're searching something. So that time in the value section, it is going to come. Suppose if you're clicking, what are these called as? So actually these commands are called as Selenium, because all of these, actually it will be in the form of programming language. The default programming language for Selenium is Selenium. Okay. So you can, I have randomly clicked on one command, and you can see there what is this command is all about, and also what is the target value. Okay. If you want to enter the value, you can edit. So these things can be done. If you want to comment it, you want to change it during the test, you can do that. And also we have this, can you observe? There is a log. Log will come up when you start running your test case. Okay, this references is for the tester to understand what action it is. So what is the description of that action, and also what are the expected arguments, expected values. So those will be displayed here. Okay. So this is all about, understanding about this. Moving forward, so I have to first stop recording, okay, before executing the project. First, I have to stop. Okay, it has been stopped. So when it is going to stop, you can see this run all test, run current test, and step over current command. Means you want to skip the command and you have to move for the next test. So that, and coming to the execution speed, you can make it fast, slow. This can be controlled. Okay. And moving on, this is what are these options. If you want to create a new project, you can directly do here, because program 7 says you have to create two projects, means two websites, right? So two websites, so you can create on this plus and you can go for the second website to test. And this is to open a new, open the existing project which is there in your local system. And this is to save your project. So yes, let me click on save the project. And this is a local system. You can choose anywhere and you can save as well. Okay. And this is all about, like, suppose you require some help, disable the keyboard shortcuts. So in that cases, you can go for this third, means to know more. Okay. So you can use this three dots, which is in the last top right corner. So now our test case is ready. I have to run. Okay, so some instance may pass, some instance may fail. So that is a later stage. So you have to debug why it got failed. That is a secondary stage. But right now we have recorded something. Now we have to play back and understand. So how this user interaction is going to work. Okay. So either you can click on run current test or run all the tests. Means all the tests, what are the commands has been recorded, everything. Let me click. So when I click to there, whatever actions we did previously, everything will be shown. It's basically playing back. Whatever we have recorded is playing back. Parallelly, you can observe here what is happening. Okay, whenever the action successfully happening is playing back successfully, you can see this green color. So let me do one thing. Let me close this. Okay, and just wait for a few seconds. You will get a red color so that it shows that instance got failed. Means the test case instance got failed. So these are the things what we can observe. So now let us see this log. You can see the log. Okay, you can also see why it got closed. Means why it got failed. You can see the red color, right? Means it got failed. The reason was playback aborted. Because I closed the window, so it was aborted. Like this, whichever comes in green color means those test instances got passed. Whichever comes in red color, those test instances are failed. Okay. So what is this three dots? We can delete this instance. We can insert a new command. We can clear the commands. So you have multiple options for the each of the commands. You can see the three dots. Come here and you can perform the whichever action. Play from here. So these things can be done using these three dots. Toggle the breakpoint. So you have multiple options which is available. So this is how we are going to create the test cases. If you want to add, because in the question page you have to create the 4 test cases. So I'll be creating 4 test cases. So using this, you can create the 4 test cases. This is done, right? So 4 test cases are available. So I know in the test case 2, 3 and 4, there is nothing available. So follow the same thing. Okay. You can, if you want, you can rename, or else come to the particular test case and you can click on start recording. When you click on start recording, it goes back to the same website which you have started for the first test case. Okay. It is going to for the same website. Let me show you. So this is in one project, you are creating 4 test cases. And why 4 test cases? Because in a website, you will not be having only one element to test. You will be having multiple elements to test, correct? For example, if I want to tell you about Swayam, so maybe you can test only about Swayam in one test case, all courses. So this is one particular element, and you can test in one test case only about this, so on. Okay. So this is what you can do in the 4 different particular test cases. So you can bring all these test cases into one test suite. For performing any of the action, first of all, you have to stop the recording. Then only you can perform any of the action. So by default, its name will be default suite. You can rename it. Okay. So after renaming it, see only first test case, whichever the first test case is, it is going to come by default. If you want to add the more test cases, you have to click on the 3 dots here and add test cases, and you can select which all test cases you want to include. You can exclude as well. Okay. So you can do this and click on select. So under Swayam suite, so we have this 4 test cases. So this is how you have to perform the program number 7. Hope it is clear. So coming to second program, which we are going to learn in the session, that is program number 9. Okay, so program number 9 says, so illustrate automated testing using Selenium to perform test on login web page. Okay, so here, as we saw in the Selenium IDE, actually we are not using Selenium IDE to perform this because test automation cannot be on the web application, cannot be done, means you cannot write the code. Okay, you cannot write the code snippets using the Selenium IDE. It is mainly used for record and playback, and also if you want to make some changes in the record. So that's why we use Selenium IDE. Coming to this web application, so we have to install, the different Selenium jar files, and then we have to perform the automation. Before going to that, so let me quickly show you the export option, which I told I will be explaining about that, right? I just forgot to tell about that. So coming to the test cases, so whichever test case you want to export, so you have to just come to this 3 dots, and last option is export. When you click here, it is going to tell you like which language you want to export. You can choose a specific language of your choice and click on export. So you can save, and you can also observe how so you can choose and open. So this is the language which you have chosen in Python, and you can see all the actions what we did in the Selenium. It is going to record the website, the window size which we set, everything. So all the commands will be converted into actual Python code, and it will be. So this what we can do in the program number, means what the remaining part in the program number 7. So now let's go back to program number 9. As I told, we have to demonstrate this automation. So for this, definitely, as I told you, we require to download the Selenium jar files. So I have already downloaded the required jar files and Chrome driver as well. Okay, so Chrome driver, why we require Chrome driver? So this exe file, because Selenium going to interact with a different browser. Whichever browser you are using, particular driver has to be installed. Okay, because the communication should happen between the Selenium and also the particular browser. For that, the driver is required. Okay, since I'm using the Google Chrome browser, I have downloaded the Google Chrome driver. And also we have to take care particular version. So whichever version you're using, that particular Chrome driver has to be installed. Okay, so that you have to just take care, and also jar files has to be installed. So now I think we can go with the program. So this is the program. So let me quickly need to understand what the program is all about. So yes, I have written this program in Java. Okay, so I have used Eclipse. So regarding doing any Selenium project, web application, if you want to automate any web application, so definitely you require the minimum requirements are, so you require a workspace. So, you can go with the latest Eclipse version. Please download it. Okay. And secondly, we require all the Java installations, both JDK and JRE. And thirdly, so we have, we have the after Java installation, the Selenium. Selenium also, I recommend to go with the latest version. So these are the three installations which is mandatory and prerequisite to run any Selenium project. So coming to this program, I have to do the login page, whether it is logging in successfully. You can choose any of the login page, any website login you can choose. So here I have chosen the website that is demoguru99.com. Okay, similarly you can choose google.com also, anything, Gmail account as well, Yahoo, anything is fine. This is the website which I have chosen to test the login basically. So now coming to the program part, so this is import. See, this import you have no need to type. Okay, so if your Selenium has been installed properly, and also one thing what we have to do after typing the program, first we have to add all the jar files to this particular program. So how we can do that? So click on this src. Okay, so this is the Java project name, and click on src, and you can right click, come to build path, here configure build path. In the configure build path, you have to include, to the library. Come to library. When you click on configure build path, it is going to take you to this window, and you have to click on library. See, there will be two things, module path and class path. What you have to understand here, suppose you have created a module. Okay, you have created a module. What is module? Basically, when your project is very big, actually we go create the modules. So then we create the different classes. If your project is small, I have not created any module here. Okay, so directly I have come to the, directly I have created the class. So if you have created a module, you have to click on module. So then click on the add jar file, add external jar file. Suppose you have not created module, then you have to go to class path and click on the add external jar. Okay, so this is what you have to follow. This is a prerequisite before running the program. Since I have already added the jar file, okay, this is the Selenium server 4.6.0. So you can take the recent Selenium server, you can download it jar file and keep it in one folder. Okay, so this is what required. So you can click on apply and apply and close. It's already been applied. So now this is the program. So let us understand the program. So this is a very simple program where you have to choose any particular website where the login is available. You have to send the username and password and click on the submit button and test whether login happened successfully or not. That's all about the program which you have to do. Okay. And I was also telling about this import, this library. You don't have to remember this library. See, for example, I want to just show you. I have not included this uh, sixth line, that is web element. Okay. This, let me delete and show you. So when I deleted, obviously, I can see the error. Okay. What you have to do, just click on that particular error. Okay. Right click. Let me do it again. So there is line number 22, right? I have to just place my cursor on that particular error message. Click on import. So that line will be automatically added. Okay. So now, what is all about the program? So in the program, we can see there is only one function, main function. So in the main function, so first and foremost, you have to do the set property. So what we do in the set property, first of all, which browser you're using. So that browser has a particular driver, as I told you. So that driver location has to be given properly along with the file name, that is chrome driver.exe. Okay. So as I told you, it was in the download, right? Chrome driver. So that location has to be given. So the driver location and this will be set up. Means whenever the Selenium want to communicate, it will go to that particular driver location and it will start communicating. Next, so we have given where's the driver available. Now we have to create one instance for that particular Chrome driver. That is what we are doing in the next line. Okay, so you're creating one instance and that particular function, like after creating the instance, so you can use the different functions on that particular instance. So which is the first function we are calling here using the instance of the Chrome driver. So that is maximizing the window size. So whichever website you are trying to control or trying to automate using Selenium, that particular web page will be maximized. Suppose you are not using this, the page will not be maximized. That's all. It will be going to be a default size. Okay. Next. And why we are printing this statement? Just for our acknowledgement, the Chrome has started. We can understand when we run a program, we can understand, okay, the Chrome has been launched. For that reason, we give this print statement. Next, as I told you, you have to give one particular web page URL. So that's why we are using the function get function. So driver is a, that is the instance we are using for the Chrome driver. So driver.get. So which is the website name? Please specify it along with the protocol, HTTP or HTTPS. Next, after opening the web page, so what else we have to do? We have to click on the find element. It has to find the element, which is the element. There are different elements in a web page. So it is going to look for the username. Either you can find the element using the name, class ID, or XPath. So there are different ways to find the element. Here I'm using the function name. By using the name, I'm trying to find out the element, username. And for that particular element, I'm sending a key Shruti because I have created one account in this particular web page. Okay. So username and password, both I have given as Shruti. Okay. So this is, it is going to find the element and for that element, it is going to send the key Shruti. Similarly, I am making the thread to sleep for some time because for 5 seconds because the time is required for the communication to happen successfully. Similarly, second, I am finding the one more element, that is password, and again I am sending a value for that, that is Shruti again. As I told you, username and password both I have given as Shruti. So again, I'm making it to sleep for some time, that is 5 seconds. Then moving forward, I'm finding the element submit button. So we have it's what like the driver going to find the element submit button, right? So then after finding the element, yes, you can see here the instance. So that instance means submit button element that is going to be clicked. Okay. So after doing that, so we are using one string, means we are taking one particular variable to store which title going to come after we click the element. So that is going to get from the function get title. Okay. So this get title function will receive after clicking. So whichever the title comes up on the web page, so that title will be taken from the get title function. So then this get title will be printed. You can see in the line next line. Okay. So this will be printed. Moving forward, by using this title, whether we got the title like login Mercury tools, because this is the if the login has successfully happened, this is what the page going to come up. Okay, this particular text going to come up on the page. So that's why we are looking for the this particular text. So we are using for that equal function equals. Okay, and if the condition is satisfied, obviously it will enter the if, and it is going to print two statements for us, that is login successfully and all test cases passed. Okay. Else, suppose the login is not reaching this particular page where the text says login Mercury 2. Okay, some other page means unsuccessful login. In that case, we can print login page. Okay, all of this, the username, password, instead of doing logging manually, so we can write this simple Selenium program and automate our login action. Okay, because when hundreds, thousands of emails has to be validated, has to be tested, has to be checked whether it's happening properly. So instead of manually doing, automating that work becomes obviously easier, right? So this is all about the program. Let us run the program and see the output. So I'm clicking on run button. As you can see, Chrome driver was started successfully. You should also observe got maximized. I think you observe. The window got maximized. Chrome is being controlled by automated test software because this is being controlled by the Selenium. Now you have to observe this. Okay. So I am not typing anything. So this is being typed by the program. Password and username is being entered. It's going to click on the submit button. As you can see, login successfully. Okay. So now, if you want, you can also register, you can click here. You don't have to fill all the fields. You can have to just fill these fields and submit and create your own username and password, and you can also test. That can also be done. Okay. So now let us come back to our program, Eclipse. And you can see these are the print statements what we had given, right? So this is all about the program. And also let us go with a one more test case, that is a login field, right? So Shruti, username and password Shruti is there. So I have just given one more extra, that is Shruti 1. So let me run and check whether it will be logged in successfully or login going to fail. Maximized. And we have to observe here username and password. Shruti1 was the username, and password. It's taking time because 5 seconds sleep. We have made the thread to sleep. Submitted, you can see enter your username and password. Correct means it was incorrect. We have to enter correct. And we can come back here Okay, I minimized. So it was displaying the login field message. Hope the program is here. This is all about the program number 9. That is testing the login using the Selenium. So I ran the program again. So this was the unsuccessful login attempt. So let us come back to this Selenium, and you can see here launching Chrome. So these all messages came and it was login failed. Okay. So this was an unsuccessful attempt. So this is all about the program. Thank you. So we have it's what like the driver going to find the element submit button, right? So then after finding the element, yes, you can see here the instance. So that instance means submit button element that is going to be clicked. Okay. So after doing that, so we are using one string. Means we are taking one particular variable to store which title going to come after we click the element. So that is going to get from the function get title. Okay. So this get title function will receive after clicking. So whichever the title comes up on the web page. So that title will be taken from the get title function. So then this get title will be printed. You can see in the line next line. Okay. So this will be printed. Moving forward, by using this title, whether we got the title like login Mercury tools, because this is the if the login has successfully happened, this is what the page going to come up. Okay, this particular text going to come up on the page. So that's why we are looking for the this particular text. So we are using for that equal function equals. Okay, and if the condition is satisfied, obviously it will enter the if, and it is going to print two statements for us, that is login successfully and all test cases passed. Okay. Else, suppose the login is not reaching this particular page where the text says login Mercury 2. Okay, some other page means unsuccessful login. In that case, we can print login field. Okay. All of this, the username, password, instead of doing, logging manually. So we can write this simple Selenium program and automate our login action. Okay. Because when, hundreds, thousands of emails has to be validated, has to be tested, has to be, checked whether it's happening properly. So instead of manually doing, automating that work becomes obviously easier, right? So this is all about the program. Let us run the program and see the output. So I'm clicking on run button. As you can see, Chrome driver was started successfully. You should also observe got maximized. I think you observe. The window got maximized. Chrome is being controlled by automated test software because this is being controlled by the Selenium. Now you have to observe this. Okay. So I am not typing anything. So this is being typed by the program. Password and username is being entered. It's going to click on the submit button. As you can see, login successful. Okay. So now, if you want, you can also register, you can click here. You don't have to fill in all the fields. You can have to just fill these fields and submit and create your own username and password, and you can also test. That can also be done. Okay. So now let us come back to our program Eclipse. And you can see these are the print statements what we had given, right? So this is all about the program. And also let us go with a one more test case, that is a login field, right? So Shruti username and password Shruti is there. So I have just given one more extra, that is Shruti 1. So let me run and check whether it will be logged in successfully or login going to fail. Maximized. And we have to observe here username and password. Shruti1 was the username and password. It's taking time because 5 seconds sleep. We have made the thread to sleep. Submitted. You can see enter your username and password. Correct means it was incorrect. We have to enter correct. And we can come back here. Okay, I minimized. So it was displaying the login field message. Hope the program is clear. This is all about the program number 9. That is testing the login using the Selenium. So I ran the program again. So this was the unsuccessful login attempt. So let us come back to this Selenium and you can see here launching Chrome. So these all messages came and it was login failed. Okay. So this was an unsuccessful attempt. So this is all about the program. Thank you.